today I'm just going to show you a really quick, easy chocolate pie recipe. We're going to do most of it sugar-free. So it's not going to be completely sugar-free. It will cut back a little bit on the sugar. You don't have to do it that way. Just how I'm going to do it today. I've made this a million times. It's kind of taking the place of a French silk pie. You know, it's not that fancy, but it's always worked for my daughter. She can't have certain things, and it's always been like real budget friendly, stuff like that. So it's just always been something that she's always got to have. So it's always been a special treat for everyone in our family, but specifically her. So I'm going to make that real quick. You need to follow on the pudding box, the instant pudding box, the part of it that says for pie, not for pudding. You need a little bit thicker, and you don't need 2 cups worth. So this is going to make it just a little less than that. Go ahead and get your bowl ready. Put 1 3/4 cup of milk in there. Go ahead and put your chocolate pudding mix, but you can use any flavor. You don't have to do chocolate if you don't want to. We're just going to do chocolate today. Okay, and then you just need to whisk that together. And it's not the prettiest sight because it is sugar-free, but it's like my mama always said, it still eats the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk this really good and get it good and combined, and I'm going to set it in the fridge so it can solidify. Just a little bit. Okay, I'll see you in just a few minutes after this has been in the fridge for just a few minutes. Okay, so the pudding didn't take long. You just need it kind of like a soft serve. And what you need to do when you bring it out is kind of whisk it just a little bit. Okay, so what I do next, and all of this is just something I come up with. So it's not, you know, I don't know if anybody else has got a recipe similar to this. I'm sure there's one out there. It was just a mom trying to give her kids something, and we didn't have many things, and I just I had this and I had that, and I just threw it all together. So now what I do is I take a little bit, probably about half of the Cool Whip out of an 8-ounce, we call it tub, but it's a bowl, and we mix it with the Cool Whip. We mix it with the pudding. Okay, and you should see it starting to turn color. And it can be folded in. You don't have to use a whisk. I just had the whisk in my hand. And you just keep stirring it until it's no longer white. It'll be a real light brown. And you do not have to do this if you don't want to. You could just do plain pudding on the bottom. But we were trying to kind of fake out a French silk pie. So that's, and my daughter still requests this pie even today. And it's just real easy and simple. It's like really nothing. It was just something, like I said, that I just threw together. Okay, so the next step is just pour the pudding mixture into the pie crust. Now, I don't know. Okay, so I've got some sugar-free chocolate chips, but then again, like I said, you could use dark chocolate chips. You don't have to put any in it at all. Or you could do Reese's Pieces that are chopped up. You can really do anything. This is just like Just something real simple, throw together. So just don't go crazy with them. Just sprinkle a little bit here and there. Okay, now, the only thing left to do is take your Cool Whip that you had left over, and put it on the pie, and pray I have enough. Okay. You don't want it to mess up the pie. And you know that I didn't put it back in the fridge to harden, so you have to be really, really careful. And what you need to do when you do something like that, and the bottom is not solid, start in the center and work your way out. And just lightly push it out. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll cover without messing with the layers, if you understand what I mean. So, there you go. And we'll put just a little bit of chocolate chips on top in the center. And we're done. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be making a few more no-bake desserts, and I want you to come along and see how it's all done. I'm making a chocolate eclair cake. It just involves, let's see, 5 ingredients. You need to get you a mixing bowl and empty 2 small boxes of vanilla instant pudding. I'm using French vanilla and I'm using generic, but you can do whatever. You're going to need 3.5 cups of milk. So let me go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay. You need to whisk that together. So as this is starting to thicken, I'm going to go ahead and get my Cool Whip ready. You will need an 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. Okay. And you're supposed to stir that into this. So we'll see how that goes. It's still a little bit frozen. Let me just kind of mix it just a little. Okay, so you combine, it'd probably be best with a whisk. You can probably fold it in with maybe a rubber spatula, but you combine your Cool Whip and your pudding. Okay, now let me get that over here and set this aside. Here, let me clear away some of this trash. And get you a 9x13 baking pan. And it says line the bottom with 7 graham crackers. So I'm assuming we keep them whole. So let's get those out. I just got the honey flavored, which is just the regular, nothing with cinnamon or chocolate or anything like that. I'm sure you could use those. I don't see the difference. Alright, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I don't know why the person with the That did the recipe said that, but I can only fit 6 in there. Alright, now you take the pudding mixture and you pour half of this pudding mixture out onto the graham crackers. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. That's about half. And my graham crackers are spreading. That'll be fine. Make sure you cover them. Okay. Alright. The next thing that we're supposed to do is put another layer of graham crackers. 1, 2. Well, this seems a little bit where maybe we have a little bit of room for some more. Let me break some up. Okay. And I believe the next thing is you add the rest of the pudding. I wonder why vanilla pudding's so yellow. Anyway, so spread it out. Make sure you're covering your graham crackers. So you want to go all the way to the pan's edge. Okay. Okay. Alright. Now for our last ingredient. Okay. So you're supposed to put one more layer, and this will be your last, of your graham crackers. Okay. Sorry about that. We got to do that first, and then we'll do the chocolate part. Okay. Looks like we're going to need more. So let me open up this final pack. And try to use whole ones if you can, but you don't have to. Some of them are broke up. I'm pretty sure you can figure out how to get them there and use them. Some of this, I don't know. I'm sure it's the shape of my pan probably that I'm having to kind of figure out a way to stick it all in there. And it's all going to be covered up, so you don't have to worry about it being the way it looks. Okay. Now, take your chocolate icing or frosting, we call it icing, and the author of the recipe says to heat it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and you need to soften it just a little bit to make it easier to spread. So, I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so the icing is softened. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope this works. I'm going to just start pouring it. Now, I've got to make it where this whole little thing in a 16-ounce container is going to spread across this whole thing. So what I normally do is I drizzle it over, or make big plops, if that's a way of saying it. and then spread it out. That way it's mostly already all over it anyway. All I gotta do is finish doing the work. That, that it's already done itself, really. So we won't mess with it too much. Alright. Alright, so let me get rubber spatula. And you gotta be really careful. Yes, you thinned it out a little, but be really careful. You don't want to disturb it. Okay. Looks like we're about done. Alright, now, after you get done doing this, very carefully spread it out and kind of squeeze it right there towards the edge, and it'll push its way to the edge. After you get done, make sure your graham cracker layer is covered. Okay, there we go. You're going to refrigerate this for 8 hours or overnight, whichever. And that's it. It's that easy and that simple. Hey everybody, this is the last dessert for our no-bake that we're going to be posting. I took this recipe off Pinterest and I am going to make it a no-bake. It's not traditional no-bake. The recipe called for, it's a Twix Ice Cream Pie, by the way. The recipe called for you to make your own crust, but you can get a shortbread cookie crust already made. So that's what's going to make it a no-bake. And it's ice cream pie, so you know it's not going to go in the oven. So you take your shortbread cookie crust and you melt some chocolate chips, and all the recipes will be in the, all of the measurements will be in the link. So you take this, you spread it in the bottom of the crust. I melted it in the microwave. You could probably melt it on the stove if you want to, in a double boiler situation. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to set this in the freezer and then I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so while that's in the freezer, we can get our next little thing going. Okay, so what you're going to do, I don't know why I did that, but anyway, 3 cups of softened vanilla ice cream in a bowl. You're going to take some Twix bars. You're going to chop those up. You need about a cup's worth to add to the ice cream. Let me get the little bits and pieces of the, put all that in there. Okay. Then you're supposed to put 1/4 cup of caramel syrup or sauce in here, and all I could find was the syrup, so hopefully it'll work. Okay, another rubber spatula. Okay, now all of that is supposed to go in with the ice cream. Okay, so we stir it up. Let me check on a pie crust. We'll put that in there. Okay, so our chocolate chips that were melted have hardened. And now we're going to put this soft ice cream in here. And pray it doesn't run over. Okay. Alright. Now you're going to garnish with some more chopped up Twix bars. Take a little bit of caramel syrup. over. Now, you need to put saran wrap on top of this, or you can invert the piece of plastic that comes with the crust. Stick it in your freezer for several hours until the ice cream hardens. Okay, when I'm done, or when it's done, I'll show you. Okay, y'all, this is the last of our no-bake series. The Twix Ice Cream Pie. Perfect for the summer. You don't have to heat the house up to make it, and it didn't cost much to make. A little bit difficult getting it out of the pan, but still worth it. Hope you enjoy.